We're here. We are post Pocono, as you see above JV's left shoulder. That lovely little triangle sign.
Another one too.
What? Shit. Are those the ones that are signed?
Yeah. Here. Okay. This one has the most signatures on it. I don't know if you can really see them all.
Did you get Chase?
No, I didn't. Chase didn't sign anything that we had with us, actually.
What an ass.
This one is mostly Xfinity and trucks. Kyle Busch is right there. This one is mostly Cup guys and Rodney Childers. So
okay, so you can get a hard on for Rodney.
Yeah,
you're a big Rodney fan, right?
Used to be. I think he's about ready for retirement as well.
He's got Josh Murray.
Yeah, I don't know about that pairing.
Which, before we talk about the Cup race, how did Josh Berry blow that Xfinity race?
Did somebody not get into everything?
No,
it was terrible. Honestly, it was terrible to watch.
It was terrible. Disaster class from Josh Berry there.
I mean, him and Justin Allgaier threw that race away. Both just terrible. Terrible pit strategy for Allgaier. Got him behind, and then Josh Berry just decided to lose talent in turn one. And that's what ended up costing him.
Yeah. Chase finished third.
Well, there is that.
That was fun. Exciting. He was getting better as it went on.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that.
As I think he did in the Cup race, too. I think he was actually stronger than people thought. He kind of just had bad positioning the whole race. But this guy makes the announcement about what I was waiting. I have to post on Instagram. So while I'm posting on Instagram, JB, tell me about your experience this weekend at Pocono. You were there.
Well, the fan experience at Pocono is actually really, really good compared to most tracks. They have a ton of different stuff that you can do. They have tents completely way away from the track, selling merch, cars, die-casts, everything. And then when you actually get there, they had carnival rides. They had all the different haulers, and then they had all kinds of different tents just set up around. And it was actually really, really cool because then they also added their whole new infield section, which was really cool until they set it up for Victory Lane, because then you got crammed. So a place that's meant for like 300 people became a place that was just squished with about 1,000 people all in one tiny, tight area. And it was not fun. And that, and the fact that there's only 2 gates now to get into the garage, and one of those gates just happened to be right next to Victory Lane. So every single time that everybody got grouped up there and absolutely crammed, then everyone that had a VIP pass was trying to get in through that gate, and it just was not happening. But all in all, weekend was really, really good. Was able to see 2 of the 4 victory lanes. Could have saw all 4 if we would have stayed, but we didn't. But it was really cool to be that close to them to see everything go on, see all the pictures afterwards, them do if they didn't do any confetti, but if they did confetti, that you would have got to saw it all. And it was really cool. And then for driver intros and then autograph alley, you can get a lot of signatures, as you clearly saw. I even got some of my diecast signed. So all in all, experience was good, but racing wise, probably the best race, I want to honestly say, it was probably between trucks and Xfinity. Cup race was good, but you couldn't pass at all. It was nearly impossible. Even throughout the entire field, it was nearly impossible. And Xfinity, you could pass pretty well. It was pretty entertaining. The trucks, I actually had to watch from the infield on the big jumbotrons, but from what I saw, it seemed very entertaining as well. But
it was. I watched it at work.
Yeah. ARCA race was also pretty cool. Jesse Love getting another win. I mean, he pretty much had it won. There was one other driver that was just as fast as him, actually faster on the long run, but he got junked on a restart. I think he still ended up finishing third though. And also rip Frankie Muniz, blown.
What happened to him?
Something with his engine went wrong, like 10 laps in.
I think he finished like 6 laps down or something.
Yeah, it was. He was quite a few laps down. It was just unfortunate. He was second in the standings before the race, so it was really sad to see. But
so he's heading back towards like the middle.
Well, good one.
JB, it took a minute. It took a second for JB. What's funny is either one of you even seen an episode of that. That's what's even funnier. Okay.
I have not, but all in all, it was pretty good. Obviously, I'm biased. I thought the race was great. The Cup race was great up until, I don't know, 15 to go when the whole incident with Alex and Denny happened. So
I thought the Cup race was really good, to be honest. I know it might have been hard to pass, but it was a really enjoyable experience throughout. For me, at least, as a viewer, I think we've had a really good stretch lately. And I thought this was one of the better Pocono races. And honestly, the last few Pocono races have been really good. Last year was good. 2021 was solid, of course, with the Larson Bowman thing. And even a few years back, there was a couple boring ones there, like 18, 19 weren't great. 2017.
The double headers was pretty good on 2020.
Yeah.
With Harvick and Hamlin going against each other both races.
Yeah.
So I will say, yes, the Cup race was good. Wasn't a lot of passing, but racing itself it seemed very competitive. Restarts were crazy. Didn't get to see a lot of the wrecks because I was in 3, but nothing was better than watching Ty Dillon absolutely junk Briscoe. That was hilarious. But all in all, pit strategy was probably the coolest thing to see.
It was a really cool pit.
Honestly,
race,
because to actually see the guys that went in early and watch them stretch out the gap from where they were compared to the other guys that pitted later, and then watch them stretch it out, it was just really cool. But
to show that tires kind of mattered a little bit.
Yes, tires definitely mattered. At least for the first 10 to 15 laps, they mattered. After that,
then they evened out.
But it was honestly just really, really cool to see that gap grow. It was just interesting to see.
Yeah. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. On the second to last restart, it was, yeah.
Yeah.
The incident happened. House of All 889, who will be joining us momentarily. Big strategy guy. Denny Hamlin was leading Kyle Larson above him. Denny Hamlin does the same move he basically did to Ross Chastain last year, kind of runs Kyle Larson out of room.
Didn't touch him.
And he touched him. Denny
Didn't
would
touch
like to
him.
tell you that he didn't. But Denny's always right, as Kyle said.
All of his buddies know that.
And I think that, Kyle Larson ends up in the wall. Denny Hamlin skates away. There's another restart after that, but Denny Hamlin eventually wins the race. What are our thoughts on that? Fair or foul? I'll give my opinion first. Do I think it was a dirty move? Yes, I do. And I think that, I'm just going to say this. It's a move that Larson has made on people many times
but
in
not
the
on
last
purpose.
couple of years. I wouldn't. Well, Denny might not even be on purpose too. You don't know if Larson's is or not. He hasn't really said it. But the thing that I think differentiates this is Larson has not done it to Denny Hamlin. I would understand if that's how Chase Elliott responded to Kyle Larson, if that's how Justin Haley responded to Kyle Larson, if that's how, Ty Dillon after the Indy Oval incident where he cleared him out last year. Of course, it was an accident, but or Bubba Wallace, who responded in a much more irrational manner. But I understood it last year when it was Denny and Ross. And it's been very clear with what Larson said and doing my own research that Denny has wronged Larson in many instances before. And Larson has never paid him back for it.
Retaliated.
It happened earlier this year. Granted, I think that was more of a racing incident. Larson was racing him hard, and Denny did as well at Kansas. But I really think that it wasn't a move that I was a huge fan of. I thought that, with the respect that those two have and having no previous incidents between each other, I really don't think that was Denny. I don't think Denny should have made that move, and I think that Larson has the right to be mad. But at the same time, if it was Chase Elliott that did it, let's say, on Kyle Larson, it's easy for me to say, but I'll give a better example. It's not my favorite driver. If that's how Bubba Wallace, a couple weeks after the Las Vegas incident responded, if he doesn't turn him at Las Vegas, then I kind of understand that move. I don't really like that, considering it. I mean, but it's what NASCAR wants: racing for the win, action, excitement. It was exciting, and I was entertained, but I think that that's not really how. For Toyota getting their 600th win, for Denny getting his 50th, and now the track record at Pocono, I really wish he could have done it in a better way.
Yeah,
that's just my perspective.
I can agree with that.
Sounds going at Larson. What is everybody else's thoughts? JB, you can go first, and then Tegan.
I agree with you. I don't really think Larson was necessarily deserving of it from Denny, but if there were other drivers that Larson's had run-ins with before, it would have been deserving. Sal.
Hi, Sal.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
What do you eat?
Spaghetti.
Nice.
Oh, spaghetti.
That's not a Mexican dish. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
That's Italian.
That's white trash.
Today.
But I think the move was definitely dirty, but I don't really think. I think Denny necessarily didn't mean to do it on purpose, but he definitely took Larson's line. Larson left him a lot of room, and Denny just took the room that Larson left him, and then they met together. But the problem was then when they met together, Larson was then out of the groove.
And that track narrows up pretty quick out of one, and especially if you get up in that area, you're really going to.
If you're lifted, you're still out of it anyway.
You saw Ty Gibbs, I think, on like lap 1, be in a similar spot to that on his own, and you could see clearly lifting, but just ended up in the wall anyway. So that's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on that, JB, or is that?
Nope.
All right, Tegan, you're up. What do you think?
Okay. So I don't think it's dirty. I don't think it's smart for Hamlin. I just feel like with these cars, you have to do that. It's getting to that point with these cars, you have to race people that way. I know Denny Hamlin started earlier this year. I'm pretty sure it was this year because he's had his podcast about nobody races with respect. I feel like respect is starting to go out the door. It kind of has been even before this car. I think before last year. I think with this car, it's made it worse. You see it with the way Denny Hamlin done Larson twice this year. It's a win. You don't know. I mean, let's be honest. Hamlin's coming toward the back half, or if not the back end of his career. I don't know if he'll reach 60.
Definitely the back half.
Yeah. So you got to take them when you can get them. I do feel like there's certain drivers out there that still kind of race with respect. Look at Harvick, how he raced Hamlin. That was Harvick racing Hamlin because of what happened in Atlanta a couple weeks ago. Hamlin's had a couple weeks here in a row, about 3 or 4 weeks in a row, where he's turned somebody. He's wrecked somebody. He got Bowman, even though I don't think it was all on Hamlin at Chicago. He got Harvick at Atlanta. This week it was Bowman kind of again and in Larson. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think Hamlin's going to be the next Chastain. I think drivers are seeing this shit, what he's doing, and I think they're going to start racing him like the bitch that he's racing, that he's becoming. It's one thing when you go out there and you own it. Like, if he'd come out and said, yeah, I had to do that, it's the only way you can pass with these cars. That, to me, would be like shoving it to NASCAR again, like him and Harvick kind of tag team last year. Yeah, go for it. Tell them that's the only way you can win races is punting people in the fucking wall. But he didn't. And he still, on his podcast, still says, I didn't hit him. And even in that same sentence, he said, if we did, it was barely. There's no dings or scratches on my car. Well, no fucking shit. They're composite bodies. I mean, they're not going to fucking scratch up and shit. You fucking hit them. It shows it right on the fucking screen. Maybe Richard Childress needs to go tell NASCAR to bring up the SMP data because apparently he has that fucking authority now. But I digress. I still think Hamlin's going to be raced like a bitch from here on out by more than one driver. I think it's going to be all of Hendrick. I still don't think Harvick cuts him any slack. I kind of wish Harvick would have took the bottom on that last restart and just shoved it in there. But he knows with his luck, he probably wouldn't have came out of it either without a wrecked race car. So he took his lumps and got a nice top 5 finish, a nice little point day. So I won't call it dirty. I just won't call it smart.
I can agree with that. Sal, what are your thoughts on, let's just get Pocono as a whole, and then Denny and Kyle Larson?
All 3 races were really fun to watch. Especially now that we don't get many fuel mileage races, at least in Cup. I've enjoyed the 2-3 kind of fuel mileage races we've had in Xfinity, just because it reminds you like exactly how much strategy has to go into.
I love a good strategy race. Obviously, I do.
Yeah.
And yeah, as far as Kyle and Denny, I mean, it is what it is. You're racing for the win at frickin' Pocono, man. Who doesn't want to win this?
Trophy looks awesome.
Just for a record, I mean, I don't blame him for doing it. I just wish he had owned up to it. Because let's be honest, he didn't junk Larson. He didn't junk him like he did Chastain. He junked Chastain last year, and Harvick finished him off and was involved.
Something was wrong with Larson. Fell back to 21st.
I think he had something going on with this. I don't know how his tires would have been flat because I didn't see no tire rub or nothing unless he knocked the valve stem. I don't know if he didn't have valve stem. Maybe it was a toe link or something. He did hit the wall, so
hasn't been talked about as much. Do we think NASCAR? I don't think it's like race suspension type deal, but do we think that maybe he gets some kind of fine or something for coming back to Denny under caution?
No, NASCAR's already said today they didn't see. As long as they didn't, I don't think they have a problem with them going through and showing some displeasure, maybe even a little rub, as long as you don't go up there and spin them out of their position. Because NASCAR is forced to then, if that happens, they cannot give that spot back to that driver. That driver just got fucked under yellow, especially if he's leading. He was the leader. Could you imagine if Larson had went up there and spun him around and 10 cars got by him? He would have restarted 11th. If I'm Hamlin, even though I'd done the bitch move first, I probably would have got out of that car with Larson.
I'm driving up to the front row and going 3 wide on the restart.
Another Robbie Gordon move.
Yeah.
Take out Larson on your way. But they come out today, said they don't see nothing wrong with it. So
okay. Denny's never. Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
we hear you. We see you.
We still got you. So
okay, there we go. My computer shut down for something to update. No. I think Denny's right. There was a lane. I see the lane he's talking about.
I don't think it's there. Not when Larson didn't set it up to begin with. There's a lane there if you set it up. He was in the corner when Hamlin got under him and then rode up the racetrack. I'm defending Hamlin's move, but Larson did not have a lane to go in because he'd already committed to the one that he was in. You cannot change it mid-lane.
I feel like it's kind of
what JB was saying. Like they kind of just met in an unfortunate spot.
I don't think they met. Hamlin rode up. Hamlin rode up. Now, I'm defending Hamlin somewhat, but he rode up. Larson wasn't coming down.
I think Hamlin got a little tight there. And, these cars, whenever...
And he needs to fix it because it's a 2-year problem. So... He needs to figure out turn 1.
I do like how quick NBC was to pull out receipts. Now, if you'll pay attention, this is just like Ross Chastain's movie.
Imagine being Kevin Harvick and being like, "Fuck this again." Oh no!
The only thing that helped is
he was in the exact same spot.
Yeah,
I think it was I think it was a later hit for Larson than it was with Chastain. I think Chastain hit it back a little bit more, so it was more violent.
But shot him straight out
and harder. Yeah. And so it came back out and took Harvick out, and then he finished himself off too. Like Harvick's probably, if you go back to Harvick's car, he didn't lift. He was not lifting. He turned it, and just happened to Larson turned it too. I think if that didn't happen, I think Harvick could have had a good run on all three of them on the outside, and that maybe changes the whole race on the last restart.
I think
Wish he had done it.
The video Jeff Gluck took of Larson's crew, just watching Hamlin do the burnout is one of the coldest videos in our sport. It goes so hard.
Yeah. It's like the Stephon Diggs AFC Championship a couple years ago photo where he watched the Chiefs, all the confetti coming down. We got a little hey from Spencer. Yeah. JB, any other thoughts on the experience at Pocono? Anything else you want to add? Great crowd, sold out, and also highest
it was
ratings,
packed, even the infield.
Highest ratings for a cable race of any motorsport this year, 2.8 million.
So I got to ask JB. I know Pocono going down to one race is really helping the attendance because everybody's got you only get one race to go to. You don't have two choices. How much were your tickets for the stand? Not counting if you had pit passes and shit like that.
Just
the race ticket
for all 4 events that they had this weekend. I think it was.
So you got the package deal?
Yeah, I think it was like $90 for all
per person.
Races.
That is not bad. That's the reason why that place was packed. Because that's a ticket for a cup race at Bristol in the nosebleeds is $94. And that's the cheapest ticket.
So we set up top at New Hampshire, which is actually kind of where you want to be.
Yeah.
And that was like $100.
That's not bad either, but that there is a really good fucking deal for Pocono.
For all 4 events. At New Hampshire, we have a stairwell that goes right to our, it comes up and it's right at our seat. So it's the perfect spot. You get out really quickly and you can get to the car and kind of avoid traffic.
Yep.
I think these tracks offering these better package deals. I never did like them because I don't want to see ARCA. Not really. I barely want to see Xfinity. I think that's what's helping. It's $90 per person for a good seat at Pocono, and you go camping for the weekend or for the week or half a week, whatever. It's a summer vacation in the Pocono Mountains on top of that. So there's other shit you can do around that racetrack, and you only spent $90 to watch 4 fucking races and get drunk off your ass. Get sunburned maybe because it's fucking hot, but
oh my god,
that just means you get drunk without drinking again because I've done it.
But even at that, we also got $75 for pit passes for the entire weekend as well.
That's not bad either.
That's really good.
So $150 or a little over north of $150 for a good weekend and pit access and shit like that.
That's a great deal.
Oh yeah.
So I just want to say one thing before we have another thing to talk about from Pocono. This is the 1-year anniversary of the pod.
Exactly, on the date.
This podcast began 1 year ago today.
Cool.
Ryan's not here. He was with us on episode 1 with Tegan and I. So, yeah. It's great.
Ooh,
we're here. We're still here. We have Incog, Michigan, the mid-seats are about 140. Homestead is 60 for the front row. I don't want to be close. I want to be as far up as possible. Just so I can see as much.
Yeah.
But one more thing to talk about from Pocono, Austin Dillon. Actually, I think this will lead perfectly into my favorite segment on this program. It's just simply the best.
Since Matt's been gone, yes.
Since you've been gone, time for Tegan's Boneheads.
Oh, so I'm going to save the best for last.
Okay.
Bonehead number 2 is NASCAR.
Wait, what?
I don't. Wait, what? This is number 2.
Number 1.
You'll see. You'll see. This is number 2. This is Bonehead Jr. It's NASCAR. They should know by now these cars are not starting back up when they spin out. It proved it at Pocono all weekend, or for the Cup race. They should have threw that damn thing out. I just don't think they wanted another restart where some fuckery shit was going to happen with Denny Hamlin. They wanted to hurry him and get the fuck out of there. So they should have threw that caution, and I really think, I know the fans were booing for Denny Hamlin, but I do feel like some of that shit was directed at NASCAR, and it should be. Top bonehead move, or bonehead, Austin Dillon, AD. Mr. Little League, who apparently didn't do good because he can't throw for shit. He tried to punt the fucking helmet to the fucking 45 car and still couldn't fucking do it. And then he says that he spun them and let's pull the SMT data. I'm so fucking sick of that fucking abbreviation. And it comes out of his fucking mouth every fucking week. And his fucking granddaddy pop, this spoon-fed motherfucker thinks that he owns the fucking racetrack every fucking week. Motherfucker can't get out of his own fucking way. He needs to get the spoon out of his fucking mouth and get a desk job there at the vineyards because that's all he's going to be good for is smashing grapes with his fucking feet. So he sure in the hell can't use his feet to get around racetrack. So, and apparently he ain't got a spotter either. So if I'm Reddick, I'm not admitting shit. That is not on Reddick. Dylan tried to clear himself and he fucking wrecked himself. And now he's fucking embarrassed like he should be because he sucks. Right along with his fucking brother, who is an honorable mention, by the way, because apparently he knows how to use his foot, but not for the brake, just for the gas pedal. Because he ran over somebody and it was just them two. So I think it's time for the brothers to either take a trip back to the Xfinity Series or maybe Pop can get them a nice cushion job in the offices. That's just me.
All right. Thank you, Tegan. That was really good. I couldn't agree. I don't know about the NASCAR call. I actually kind of agreed with them on that, the caution call. But Austin Dillon, was that a bad look for him? Spun himself off of Reddick's nose, got out, threw his helmet at him, couldn't get it there, and then went in the interview and said, "Yep, everybody thinks that I wrecked myself. They might be right, but I'm gonna start wrecking people."
And I think now, if he does, I think that's an admission, and I think NASCAR should pull the SMT data and park his ass.
Okay.
Maybe
like
Granddad
that.
will get on the radio and say, pull the SMT data. What?
I love when you call him Pop at every chance.
Fucking Pop and Spoon Fed. That's the new nickname. And this is weird because the Spoon Fed dig was actually toward Ty Dillon.
It was.
I honestly don't think Ty Dillon is as spoiled, rotten, bratty ass bitch, cunt face as his older brother. His older brother is more spoon-fed than Ty Dillon. I think Ty Dillon kind of was going that way during that incident with Harvick, but I think he got set. I think he got knocked down a peg. And I honestly do think Ty Dillon could probably outrace his brother in equal equipment. That's just my opinion. That's my hot take on that. I think you take Austin. If Austin wrecks somebody and gets parked, I think you need to put Ty Dillon in that car. But we know that won't happen because they'll put Austin Hill in it. So.
Which I actually agree with Spencer on this. I think Austin Hill would actually be a playoff driver in the 3, to be honest.
Yes. Agreed.
He'd win a play race easily. So, yeah,
Orlando.
We have that. Suarez wrecked. That's not good for him.
Not for the cutoff.
Too.
I don't think he was happy about that one either. Yeah, he caught them all squirrels, and apparently he was the nut.
Yeah.
That's what so for the entire remainder of that race, my grandfather and I, there's drivers that when they're around Chase, we're like, I don't like this. And now we're just calling them the squirrels. So I'd say the squirrels are like Stenhouse, LaJoy.
Fire.
Yeah, Austin Dillon. Any the mid-level.
Even
driver.
BJ had a rare moment this week. BJ usually never.
That was
yeah.
really bad. What was he doing?
I just don't
BJ's
think.
pretty good. And who did he spin? It was
They did say the spotters are kind of far away from where that happened at.
Right,
So maybe
so
it was
it's
a
hard
spotter issue.
Yeah, but it seemed like he just locked it up and went straight up. Who did he spin?
Maybe
again?
it was the car.
I can't remember who he spun.
I don't remember. Was it not Suarez?
No.
Maybe?
Not
That was on
Austin
the.
Dillon.
Oh, it was Austin Dillon, I think. Was it?
I'm not sure.
The first time, because Dylan wrecked twice, right?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad day for Austin Dillon, man. He got fucking BJ McLeod. That's not an ideal situation. We had a lot of interesting NASCAR silly season news come out last week. Really, one domino fell that was quite unexpected. It almost made us want to do an episode midweek last week.
If I had been here, we probably would have.
We had a lot to talk about with it. Justin Haley is signing a multi-year deal with Rick Ware Racing. Leaves a spot open at Colleague. Who's going to take it? And let's little backstory behind Justin Haley's move. There's an alliance now with RFK and Rick Ware that seems like it's going to be very, very close.
I think it's already working out a little bit.
Cole
I think you see that
Custer
when
at
you
New
put Cole
Hampshire
Custer in the car.
I think depending
He was
on who
running
they
top
put in the car,
25.
yeah.
And I think Justin Haley
Yeah.
is I'd rate him around Cole
Higher.
Custer, if not higher. So that's that. I think that's a good move for him. I think he might be setting himself up maybe to take over for Brad
Yeah,
in a few years.
that's what I think is happening.
Which I think would be a good move for Haley. But what are our thoughts? Let's talk about Haley first. Do we think that's a good move for him? At first I didn't, but as I kind of digested it a little bit more,
It may not be short term. It's long term though. We may not see it next season, and maybe we do. Who knows?
Yeah.
RFK is kind of rising up this year. They're consistent with both cars compared
Definitely.
to last year. It was just a 17
They've been
car.
honestly as good as Penske this year, I'd say.
Yeah. And it seems like Brad is running with Harvick a lot. They're like around each other every weekend now. So they're the top two Fords, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, Joey. Oh my God, he was so angry. Was that who he spun?
That was on the restart.
Joey-
With,
That was on the
Right.
restart.
Yeah. That was the Suarez one.
Yeah.
Joey.
They both got spun, yeah.
Whew, Joey was angry about that tow truck thing. So mad.
He went in the
Stupid
dad mode.
sons of bitches.
He's like, get over here. Get over here. And all I can think is my dad. I'm getting an ass whooping.
my favorite part was when the guy came back over to him and said, "Yeah, we're gonna tow it back." And Joey goes, "Yeah, that's what I've been asking for."
No shit, Sherlock.
Then
Then they walked off and he's still going off. He's like, stupid motherfuckers.
God damn! Oh, what a moment from Joey. Any other opinions on Justin Haley?
No, I think you hit it pretty on the head there.
Solid, fine move. I think it's, and it seemed like that.
So apparently
That's not totally
they have the
him.
funding to cover him. And that's what he didn't have guaranteed
At college.
at Colleague. So he could actually have lost that ride and lost any other opportunity for a ride. So he's guaranteed a cup ride. And apparently Mr. Rick Ware has money to put behind it if it's his own money. Apparently Colleague don't. So
Yeah, because I think
Well,
that's
that's what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Because Leaf Filter is Matt Colleague's company.
I mean, if it's a good company, then it should be fine. I
Right,
just think they
but-
were shopping around.
But I think that maybe they want to transform themselves into not having to put any of it into it, or maybe doing it on like a more limited scale, as we've seen them try to do. There's a guy in mind that I think is going to take that ride. But I'll let you guys discuss it first. Who do we think are the options for the 31 next year?
Me and Mike had this discussion, so I'll wait.
I think you have a couple.
I have 3 names. that
Do
I'm
we
gonna
still
bring up.
is calling still? Did they have any kind of alliance with RCR?
In Xfinity, I know.
Are you going for Austin Hill?
I think Austin Hill. It depending on like I said, what kind of, because I don't think Childers wants to let him walk. Depending on what kind of alliance they have with Colleague, if that expands all the way to Cup, I think you could see Austin Hill in that. And then right now, probably what I think I heard you guys talk about it. One of the hottest drivers on the market, and he's only ran 1 race.
I don't know about that one.
That'll be the man that's returning at the Indianapolis Road Course, Shane Van Gisbergen, winner at Chicago. I think he's one of my names. My names are Austin Hill, Chandler Smith, SVG. I think those are the 3 guys that it's going to come down to.
I would love to see Chandler Smith in Cup. I hope it's not next year.
Why? What is another year in Xfinity going to do to him when these cars are no alike? You have to get in these cars quickly because it takes you a year to figure them out, if not more. especially with no practice.
This dude is beefing with Jeb Burton. He's gonna go to Cup and beef with
Harrison
fucking BJ McLeod.
Yeah, but this is somebody though that stands his fucking ground. I think he'd be good in Cup just for that reason right there. I think he's another Ross Chastain without the stupidity and the fucking bulging eyes. I think it's Chandler Smith because I just don't think Colleague takes the chance of losing him to another team. Because unless they're getting rid of AJ, and that I think is still a possibility. I think Colleague may go in the next year with 2 new drivers in their fucking field. And if they do, it's Chandler and it's probably Austin Hill because after Austin Hill won at Pocono Saturday, Chris Ross was down there waiting on him to congratulate him through the window and shit. So that kind of fueled more shit this weekend. So
him and Daniel Hemrick were both there.
Yeah, I don't understand
also,
how RCR lets that one go.
If AJ is gone out of Colleague next year, I think it'd be his decision.
I don't know because they can always put him back in Xfinity and he'll do good.
I was about to say
I think he's a lifetimer in Xfinity along with Justin Allgaier and Brandon Jones, which we need to touch on that later.
We'll talk about him.
And I think there's just certain drivers they're good, but they're not Cup good. They need to stick to the level. It's like Matt Crafton. Matt Crafton has been stuck in the trucks. He's still there, and I think
now he's ass.
Really he needs to get out because he's past his prime, just like Johnny Sauter. Johnny Sauter was in Xfinity, done decent, if that. He went to Cup. He was a fucking moving chicane. That son of a bitch was like should have probably been drug tested. That's how bad he was. And he went back. He went to the trucks, drove for Harvick, and drove for other teams, and he's been great. He's a trucker, just like I think there's drivers that are lifetimer Xfinity drivers. That's where they need to be, and they need to just accept it and do their best, win their damn championship, which Justin Allgaier has not done, and just deal with it. You're making money, and you're racing cars.
I'm going to completely disagree with you here.
Oh, Lord.
On which part? You think Justin Allgaier is Cup material?
No, I'm talking about AJ.
No.
The guy is 10 points out of the playoffs right now.
That's because he's scrapping finishes there at the end. I'm telling you, I don't think he is.
Oh, fuck. Are you so you're saying the guy
Okay, let's see this. A couple weeks ago, he was really down. What drivers ahead of him has all had bad luck here lately? Ty Gibbs. Chase Elliott's been out. Alex Bowman, since he's been back, he was in it. Now he's, 45 points behind? He's had bad luck. He's not had a top 10 or top 15 finish since he's been back. They harped on it all fucking day Sunday. There's been and Suarez is another one who was in it pretty good, and now he's out. I'm pretty sure there's another one. He's had 4 or 5 drivers he's passed just because they've had bad luck and not had the finishes, and he's just scrapping in 10th, 9th, 8th, 10th. That's it.
And you're saying that's the guy that should be in the Xfinity Series? In calling equipment, which is not winning equipment at...
If you have the chance to pull up Chandler Smith and Austin Hill, yes.
No.
You do.
No. I might agree with Austin Hill, but there is no way I'm going to think that Chandler Smith is more likely to get you in the playoffs and get you a better playoff run than AJ Allmendinger right now.
You're always saying that because motherfucker can win road courses. You got to take road courses out of the equation because they're
you need to win one race to make the playoffs now. One race. That's it.
I still think Chandler Smith can win on every other track, including road courses. AJ only had road courses, yes, in a collie car.
So we're like the little kids hiding in the corner.
Where's Justin Haley in the point?
Mom, Dad, can you stop fighting?
Yeah.
Let me look. Justin Haley is, I think he was like 20th or
he also had a points penalty. So
yeah.
So take that point penalty away, and where would he be? No, I don't think it did because his didn't get overturned, but Hendricks did. Remember?
Oh, this is pretty fucking ironic. Let's check out NASCAR.com real quick and look at the headline image. Let's take a look at that. Xfinity regular, but AJ Allmendinger's getting hot at the right time. Yeah, look at him. This guy's the face of NASCAR. If you look up NASCAR, that's what you see.
That dude's starting to show his age.
Yeah, he is old.
In the last year or two.
Haley's 23rd. But that he went, I think he was 21st heading into this week.
So he's 62 behind, correct?
Yeah.
Didn't he have a 60-point penalty?
75.
Ooh.
Is he in?
He would be in if it went for that point penalty.
Wow.
That is actually crazy to think about.
So you
So
can't
Alex.
tell me that you think Justin Allgaier is an overall better driver than Chandler Smith, because if Justin All, I mean not Justin.
I'm not fucking talking about Justin Allgaier.
Not
What the
Justin
hell is
Allgaier.
Justin
fucking
Allgaier got to do with this?
Justin Haley. I think Chandler Smith is a better driver than Justin Haley. If Justin Haley can do it in that equipment, so can Chandler Smith.
What? Are you serious?
Are you telling me that you think fucking Justin goddamn Haley is better than Chandler Smith
Yes.
right now?
Yeah.
You're so full of fucking shit. It's popping out of your fucking eyes.
I'm so serious right now.
I hope they put Austin Hill in that car, and I hope somebody steals Chandler Smith. I'm telling you, I think he's the top guy besides Josh Berry, and only because he's kind of overrated in Xfinity right now.
I agree.
Even I would put him over Sam Mayer, because Sam Mayer has not done shit. He's consistent,
Now hold me.
but he hasn't done shit. He usually takes himself out or gets fucked or whatever. No, Haley is not better. I love Justin Haley to death. I still think Chandler Smith is better than Justin Haley.
Okay.
Justin Haley, no.
You don't back into that many restrictor plates wins. Are you gonna say Austin Hill backed into all his restrictor plate
right.
wins?
I actually kind of agree with this. Sam Mayer is not.
I would not go that far. I just think he needs a couple years.
I think he's gonna
mature.
be. I think Sam's gonna be one of those cases where once you win one,
he gets
you
a
can get
couple.
going.
Yeah, I think he is close to being in the Brandon Jones trap.
Mate, I
How
don't
old
know.
is he? He's
Brandon
still
Jones has
really
been in this
young.
series for a while, so yeah. He's not even 21. So
So let's talk about Brandon Jones. Rumor is that he's going to go back to JGR next year. That'd be
taking daddy's money with him. Back with him.
Yeah. I don't know. So that would leave
Maybe
Junior
Joe Gibbs is
Motorsports with-
desperate.
Yeah.
Be taking somebody back that left with his money, with his fucking sponsor.
Yeah, you'd think they might want to put Corey Haim in that.
They're not going to do it if he's bringing the money.
Corey Haim has showed, I think Corey Haim is one of the next big Cup talents.
Yes.
If Martin Truex Jr. retires this year, you can call me crazy right now. I might be more inclined to put Corey Haim in there over John Hunter Nemechek.
I won't go. No, I don't think that happens.
I think Corey Haim is really good.
No.
I don't think he skips Xfinity though.
I think Corey Haim will be Denny Hamlin's replacement.
Whoa.
Or maybe even drive for Denny Hamlin, because I think Denny Hamlin's wanting to go to 4 cars. So
That could happen. I think that Haim has to be their first priority though in the Toyota camp right now.
100%.
That's got to be the guy that you need to, because I think Sammy Smith is good. I don't think he's as good as Haim though.
He hasn't been good this second half. He's been like consistent top 10s and
beginning of the year, he's consistent.
but he
top
kind of
5,
fell
though.
off ever since his win. Where was it, at Phoenix?
Mm-hmm.
I think ever since then, Sammy Smith's kind of fallen back a bit.
I think
That's
John Hunter is
Hunter's
another
bad.
Christopher Bell.
John Hunter?
Yes. Put him with the right person and the right crew chief in the right car. It's like when Bell drove the 95 car. He didn't do much, so they put him in the 20 car because Eric Jones wasn't doing shit. And last year, at the end of the year, he was the best Joe Gibbs driver.
Yes.
And I think he's out there with Truex this year, maybe.
Last year.
Yeah, so I think John Hunter, he took a step back from Cup because he took a ride when it was given to him, because he was a young guy.
And he actually performed in it pretty well. And I think that John Hunter
pretty decent in the 38 car.
I think he'd be a really good Cup driver. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All I'm saying
I still
is
think he goes in over Corey
Haim
Haim.
is good.
Yeah, yeah.
I can
think
see
he
that
beats
as
him
well.
to it.
So we'll see. Brandon Jones back to the 19 probably. Do we think?
I don't think, and speaking of that, I don't think Truex retires next year where we'd already fucking,
No.
I think he would have already done it or said it.
Agreed.
Harvick has planned his retirement for 2 years, literally. Everything was put in place so he won't have to do it this year. Maybe Truex just took that and like, hey, I'm going to do that too next year. Maybe next year is his year.
And you kind of knew that with Harvick because when he was on the Dale Jr. download in 2021, I think it was, he said, I'm till 23 and then I'm planning on being done. So that was kind of the plan then, and it turned out to be what happened. What about Josh Berry and how he's doing in Xfinity? I think Josh Berry is a good driver. I think he could do well with Rodney Childers. I think everybody got a little bit too excited about him.
We've been saying that for a while, even before that announcement was made. I am curious. So next year we're going to find out if Harvick was really carrying Stewart-Haas.
Yeah.
If Josh Berry goes over there and struggles just like the other three, and this is saying something because Eric Almirola's had some bright spots with New Hampshire until his fucking crew literally lied and fucked him. We're really going to find out just how good of a driver Harvick was. Like, I always believed Harvick was underrated when it comes to driving equipment that is not up to par. Like, if he had left RCR, he's spent 13 years there. If he'd have let them and went to Stewart-Haas when he first wanted to, Harvick would be probably in the 70s with wins and probably maybe another championship by now. If he had, because he planned on going to Stewart-Haas in 2010. That would have been another 4 years.
Yeah, and to go off of Harris here, I think I don't see any reason why. I'm curious to see how it works out next year because I think Ryan Preece has been good this year. I think he's been good this year. He's just had a lot of really unfortunate luck. I saw a tweet about
and when he does have good luck, he usually he doesn't run good. So
yeah,
I feel like the other three cars they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to change some crew chiefs around next year. They're going to have to not switch them around. They're going to have to start poaching. Is what they're going to have to do. Tony Stewart's going to have to quit fucking in the NRA and fucking his wife over there in the drag strip and spend some fucking money in his fucking Stewart-Haas team and quit going up there and saying, I don't want none of that daddy's money. He's like, fuck you don't, bitch. You're fucking dumb if you think it doesn't run on fucking money. You're fucking dumb, and you're also wanting to fucking raise the age limit because you think the young guys are ruining the sport. You're a fucking stupider. He's fucking moronic. You need to start spending money to fucking make money. And they don't make money, so Stewart-Haas, if they are breaking even or losing money, then they are definitely doing something wrong because they have no fucking, they're not spending money. I don't get it. They're not going out there and stealing crew chiefs like they should be. I mean, next year I'm probably not going to root for Stewart-Haas, to be honest. I love Rodney. I don't care for Josh Berry. I don't care that they lost Bush. I thought Stewart-Haas probably like, I don't give a fuck, stupid fucking asshole. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they still got to find sponsors for his ass. So I did say that I thought they would bring another driver in and have two cars sponsored by Bass Pro on the same team. And I don't remember who it was. If Amarillo is gone. Who did I come up with like a wild theory because these drivers are already sponsored. Oh, Truex. I don't think that's going to happen though. Truex will be stupid to leave Joe Gibbs with Toyota. That's their fucking front team. He ran the other Toyota teams out of business, so.
Yeah, right. Truex is on both of them.
Oh, yeah, on purpose.
So what I got from that is Cheegan is boycotting SHR and demanding Tony Stewart be celibate.
Or get out of his fucking wallet. Or you know what? If you're not in it, get out of it. Sell your fucking team. I'm sure Dale Jr. would love it to have it. I know he wants to have his own say and shit, but I don't see Dale Jr. getting in the sport unless he buys into another team or in the cup. Unless he buys into another team or buys it outright. Only team he can do that with is Fire. BJ McLeod, whoever owns that, and
it's him and Matt Tift.
Yeah, maybe Stewart-Haas. Maybe he buys out Stewart's part and it's him and Gene and they switch back to Chevy. I do think Tony kind of dropped hints about that. I do think they're switching away from Ford when that contract is done. So maybe they go back to Chevy or maybe they bring in another manufacturer.
Dodge.
I would love to see Dodge back in here.
Already working with them in the NHRA. One more silly season thing we have to talk about. There was a radio transmission on Parker Kligerman's radio in the truck race from his crew chief after Carson Hocevar caused a wreck that involved the Kligerman team. And it was saying, and they think that this guy is ready for Cup next year.
They said that if he don't straighten up, they're going to kill him over there. Mm-hmm. is what the crew chief said.
That makes it seem like, and I read, I haven't listened to it yet. I have to do that because I think there's going to be a lot of information on it this time of year. DBC, they also hinted at Carson Hocevar being in Cup next year.
Well, I mean, Dale Jr. is kind of pretty high on the dude, so.
Well, he wouldn't have anything to do with Dale Jr. then.
That's what I'm saying. I just know. Well, that's what I'm saying. If he don't get a Cup right next year, do we think he takes over the 8 car? Yeah,
I do.
That's what I think.
But if they're talking like that, then that probably means that he's going to be in Cup next year.
It depends on the car. If he goes to the Cup, and I mentioned you 2 numbers, but if you don't think you can perform, I would not take the 77. Fuck Spire. Yeah. They're sucking Corey LaJoie's cock, and he's turning around and fucking them in the ass because he can't do shit. He's overrated too. I would, if I had my choice, I would go to Junior and drive that car and wait for Junior to maybe go to Cup and ride that coattail up.
Tegan, you're spicy today.
You were spicy last week too.
I don't remember last week. I slept since then.
Do we have any more silly season news to talk about in NASCAR? Anything else?
So, if Brandon Jones leaves the 9 team, who's going to take that car? Or do you think Junior?
Well, that's true. That's 2 spots coming open.
What I would think if Carson Hocevar moves to Cup and that takes him out of it, let's say, then I would say it'll be Jeffrey Earnhardt and Carson Kvapil.
I kind of see Carson getting it over Jeffrey.
But if there's 2 spots, then they can both have it.
Maybe. But do they have sponsorship?
That'd be such a. Are you kidding me? You get an Earnhardt in the 8 driving for Dale Jr. and they're not going to have sponsorship.
Okay, but his name ain't Dale or Ralph, so it's fucking Jeffrey. It might as well be fucking Kerry Earnhardt in that fucking thing because nobody gives a shit. Jeffrey, who is he kin to that Earnhardt feller? Oh, that's a damn shame.
Jesus. I think that's probably the direction they'd go. Do you guys have any other opinions? Any other names maybe that would go to JRM next year?
Hold on.
Whoa.
Sal's going thinking big.
I think he's topping something in.
This is something else. I think if Carson Hocevar is smart, because I don't think there's unless you can somehow land the 31.
That'd be a good move.
Yeah, that would be a good move. You go anywhere else, I think you're ruining it. I would love to see Carson Hocevar and Carson Kvapil in the 2 available JRM rides.
If Brandon Jones leaves.
But another thing that we could kind of touch up on, Andretti is looking into Marco with Spire.
Well, Gainbridge, which is one of their big sponsors in IndyCar, it sponsors Colton Herta, who's really their flagship driver on their team. They're in on Spire now. I think for basically the rest of the season, they'll be alternating cars.
Okay, so do we think Todd Dillon is? Do we all agree that we think he's out of this car next year?
Yes,
probably. Yeah,
especially if Marco's getting into it. Because does Marco want to drive it?
I don't think Marco goes Cup racing.
No, I think that we're talking about more of the Andretti ownership group wanting to buy Spire or have a stake in it.
Yeah.
If that happens, I don't think they won't.
Yeah, because right now,
Dylan.
Adam Stern, because I know he tweeted about it earlier. And then right now he just said it's not yet clear how the Andretti Spire deal will look after the initial first step. Rather, it'll involve a combined outfit or a full rebrand to Andretti Global or some other option. The next
is that speculation, or is that like he has information?
So does this mean that the deal that they were working with Corey LaJoie on a multi-year extension is kind of null and void?
Probably.
Or is he part of the package?
I think you keep Corey because I think he completely blew his chance at Gateway.
That's true. Well, to be honest, though, that car was. I think
the car was also probably shit because I think
that car was shit. I think they were trying to
chase. Yeah. But I think if you're Spire and it is gonna end up being like you go half type deal with Andretti, I think you fight to keep Corey LaJoie in there because I mean
He is
did
marketable.
terrible and good equipment, but he is definitely helping step that program up.
For sure.
Has he done his stacking pennies yet? Has that come out yet? I want to hear his take on the
Ryan Priest.
Priest. I'm telling you, I think Ryan Priest would win in that fight. Ryan
Oh,
Priest has been jerked around a lot this year, and he's sick of. I think you saw a man get out of that car that was fucking fed up.
He
saw
He
a chance.
looks a lot like a talker. I think Corey LaJoie would kick his ass and
No,
pop him in the
no,
jaw
no,
the
no,
way
no.
he should have been a long time ago.
No, I think Ryan Priest would absolutely deck his ass right to the fucking ground. Then he could stack that fucking penny.
Fuck Ryan.
All right, I'm gonna make an announcement in the chat real quick.
I hate that guy so much.
Who, me?
Ryan, you too. Ryan Priest.
Okay, good.
Let me tell you. People came out here
Why?
saying he was going
He
to
don't
win
watch
3
Larson?
races.
Well, to be honest, Stuart Haas is outside of Harvick's team. It's just been shit.
Are we ready for the F1
We
schedule
are.
reveal?
I mean, me and you worked on this, so I think it looks fucking great.
It looks awesome.
We took your idea, and we were literally, what we call it, collabing.
Yes.
I was at work working on this with Mike at home, who's probably had one eye open going,
Did you
check that
ask
out.
about what you wanted to ask Tegan, Mike?
About what?
About having these races seen by everyone around the world.
What are you talking about?
Broadcasting.
oh, I ain't broadcast. You are not asking me to broadcast an F1 race on a sport that I have never fucking watched.
That would be the best content ever.
It probably would, but about halfway to
you
people
should
like,
do the opener and then championship race just to see what kind of shit
dumb
you say.
redneck in here on this sport. We're your opinion. What's this fucking country hick ass bitch doing in here?
All right, here's schedule. This looks really cool. So let's zoom in here. We start off with can I X out of? Can I get rid of that?
What are you trying to do?
Get rid of the top thing.
Just click
I
on
don't
the
know.
schedule.
You probably got to zoom in and just scroll down like that.
We're good. All right, we begin the season with the United States Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas, NASCAR track. Everybody doing that. Then we head to the Middle East, the Bahrain Grand Prix, the current F1 season opener at the Bahrain International Circuit. Then we head to Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix the week after. Then we head to North America, baby, the Canadian Grand Prix at Montreal, which could be back in NASCAR next season. Then we'll head to one of the most famous tracks in the world, Monza, for the Italian Grand Prix. Then, right after that, to another one of the most famous tracks in the world, Spa, for the Belgian Grand Prix. Then we head to a really fun track, Austria, the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. Then we have a week off as the Cup Championship race will fall that week. So we're going to give that a little more time and its own lane there. Then we head to a really crazy track, Baku, the city circuit, a street circuit that will be running the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Then we have the Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaro Ring.
Zoom in on him.
I can't zoom in anymore.
No, on him.
Oh, okay.
It took me a second. I was like, what the fuck is that? Oh, man.
I don't know whose idea
Anyway.
that was.
The Mexican Grand Prix
The Hispanico.
with the flag as Sal at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City, which, if you remember, that's where NASCAR raced a few Busch Series races back then. Then we head back to America for the Miami Grand Prix on the parking lot of the Hard Rock Stadium for the Miami International Autodrome. Then we have two street circuit, or actually three technically here in a row. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix at the Jeddah circuit, which is absolutely crazy for any F1 fan that's out there. That'll be a barn burner. It'll be very exciting. Probably going to see a lot of DNFs there. Then we head to the streets of Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Strip, the first time ever F1 is running it this year, will run it as the third to last race. The penultimate race will be in Portugal at Portimao, the Algarve International Circuit, a really, really fun and technical track. And then closing it out with an OG F1 finale location, Interlagos, for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And that'll fall right before Christmas and right before the 2024 season of the CFRL NASCAR Series. So it'll be very exciting. I'm excited. I think a lot of people are going to have – we have about 8 or 9 people lined up for it right now, so it should be a fun time. I'm quite excited. I think it'll be something new, something to keep people involved on a new game, which we don't have the luxury of having. Even though – did we talk about it last week that NASCAR had a big announcement in terms of video
I think that came after our pod, actually. So this will be the first week. Do we think that that's them changing developers? Motorsport Games had no idea. Like, we're like, yeah, our relationship is great. So but we don't. I'm hoping maybe they're just saying that, and maybe NASCAR's buying the rights from them so that our servers can actually be upgraded, because they need to be fixed before we actually get shut down permanently, and then we're stuck.
Everybody's gonna be really excited for the F1 league. But yeah, so we have that, and the F1 league will be starting August 12th, so a couple weeks until that gets going, but that will be a lot of fun. Sal and I will be in it. JB, I'm not sure if you're getting the game. You should join us. Tegan definitely will not be participating.
I'm an American, damn it.
But he's a fan. He'll be excited.
I'll be rooting for y'all from the comfort of my bed.
You should be broadcasted it.
I don't know about that.
Well, we talked about silly season in real NASCAR. Silly season in our NASCAR league has begun. Before we get to that, playoffs begun last week. Weasel, regular on this program, steals a win on fuel mileage.
His one win of the year.
Yeah. He plays spoiler to the playoff drivers, gets the win, so nobody is locked in, even though basically we know that Tegan and Bradley are pretty comfortable. I'd say I'm there too with a 28-point gap. Pretty close behind him, though.
Actually, it's 62 and 50.
Well, I'm 28.
Yeah, you're 28.
Yeah. I'm 28 up, so that's why I'm saying I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at. But it's very close, JB. For missing that race and getting the half points, I think you're in a good spot now. You only need 4 points at Dover and Michigan, which I absolutely think you can do on the cut line. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Incog potentially could be missing the last race of the round, but that's not totally confirmed yet. So yeah, that will be. That was.
I think you just got your 10th driver for F1.
Yeah, Mind Killer.
I actually kind of had a feeling he probably had it. That sounds like something Mind Killer would enjoy.
Yeah, he likes that. So yeah, well, I'll keep in touch with him. And then we have our league silly season that really begun today. Sal, you have a new ride. Talk about it and talk about the team that you're on.
Yeah. Mr. Incog is taken over, and I will be driving the 13 and 99.
Shocker!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hoping the schedule for next year benefits well and run better.
Yeah, so Incog's taking over the 1, the 42, the 43, and the 99. So a combination of
and 13
Trackhouse and Petty GMS. We also had Harris announce an extension with NSP in the 22. Nothing on your front yet, Tegan, but we'll be expecting that shortly.
I'm cooking.
Yeah, he's cooking.
I may try to save it till Monday.
I cook
if I can wait a week or next week. So yeah, you cook, Judas. These guys up here, Judas and Judas Jr.
I was very respectful about it.
As you were giggling. Ha ha, motherfucker. Giggle, motherfucker.
Before we get there, Quentin is going to take ownership of Spire and sign Spencer.
Which I kind of low-key expected last night.
I think is going to be an awesome lineup. if they both race. I'm so excited for that. Chaos and
I love when they
I
flirt
love
and
it.
play hard to get with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, it's romantic.
They hate each other, but they really
Yeah.
do love each other.
I'm actually kind of working on something that I've seen right over before the pod started. A reel from Facebook that kind of it's one person that kind of combines the Spencer and Quentin. So I may share that. It may be mean, but I don't give a fuck. I'm mean, but I'm funny. Mike's an ass and a traitor, so.
I'm no traitor. I
Oh,
signed
no.
multi-year
You're
extension.
not the traitor. You're just the fucking puppet master. And that one right there is the fucking traitor.
It looks like you're pointing at yourself.
Okay. This motherfucker up here.
This motherfucker down here is a bitch. What a JV.
I'm rooting for Danny Hamlin.
I don't understand. That's a bitch down there. That
I'm a
Jones
B-
bitch.
driver.
That's right, forever and always. But on the Hendrick front, I'm the vice chairman over here. I wear the Jeff Gordon and Chase Elliott hat, which I'm very proud to wear both. I have both. If you want to see a Jeff Gordon hat next week,
And he's got 3 of another.
I'll talk about that in a minute. That's a funny, that's a funny little story. But I signed a multi-year extension to remain vice chairman and continue to drive the number 9, which I brought success to, which it didn't have previously. So it's exciting.
I hope he's watching.
I do too. Bradley moving over back to where he won the Daytona 500, where he had his 2019 and 2017 seasons in. He was driving the 40. He'll be driving the 48 next year. Newcomer James, who you guys might know from midweek, will be coming over to drive the 24 car. Really, really excited to have him. He picked up his first win at Michigan last week. It was a really impressive run from him in the midweek series. And then my man, JV.
I'm sorry.
And what I might say is one of the biggest acquisitions in league history.
Spit it out.
Yeah, I couldn't.
You
I was
look like
gonna
you
say
stumbled a little bit.
I did.
Accusations?
Yeah, that's what I was-
you damn right, accusations. I'm accusating this bitch over here is a thief, and this bitch up here is a Judas.
You're pointing at me. What are you doing? You gotta stop. Speaking of accusations, I got jury duty again, which is great.
Awesome. Fucking, there is a God.
But anyway, JV is coming over to drive the 88 and the 5, considering that, well, spoiler, probably be on 2 different cars next year. If you can kind of gather that from the announcements that have been made. It's not official yet, but that's definitely, with the way everybody voted, the direction things are looking. So JV will be in the 88 and the 5. I think it's a great move for our team. I'm really excited. It'll be a lot of fun. I think we'll work well together. JB and I'd say I race as well around JB as I do anybody on the track. And James was a lot of fun to race around in the about 2 times that I raced with him once and get to watch him another time. He seems like he's a really respectful, good, and fast racer. So I'm excited to have him. But yeah, that's a silly season announcement. Hendrick cooked. Was there anything else that silly season wise? Any announcements you want to make, Tegan, live on the show?
I don't have them. I'm cooking now.
Okay.
I think I may have a shocker of my own.
Okay. Bradley.
Maybe.
That'd be a twist.
Maybe he's going to own the Hendrick team, but going to drive for Stuart Haas.
That's not going to happen. Bradley's got his 48. He's happy. No other silly season news we'd like to talk about?
I don't think so.
Nothing else happened. I assume we'll be finding out more soon. So, Tegan was making fun of me a couple minutes ago. I really like this hat.
Is that one of the new ones?
No, I ordered them today. It's my favorite hat. and I want to make sure that I can wear this hat for a long time. So I decided to order 2 more of them today.
Not on sale, by the way.
No,
What?
full
Retail
price.
price.
$32.95 each.
This motherfucker goes 3-4 months without a job and sitting in the poorhouse, eating McDonald's because that's all he can afford. And then the son of a bitch gets a job and gets paid for 2 weeks, and he's like, "I'm gonna buy 2 hats that I already fucking got." You tell this motherfucker doesn't pay bills.
It's always important to have surplus.
I hope you go bald, bitch.
Oh, no.
What are you? I have good hair. I'm not going. I have really good hair. I'm not going bald. It's really important to have surplus. I really like this hat. A little bit of the logo is like peeling off. I want to make sure that stays good. So I just got 2 more in case that happens again.
You're an idiot.
It'll be great.
I hope they
I'm an
actually
idiot.
ship him Larson hats. That'd be fucking karma
I'd wear them. I don't care.
on the pod. You heard it first here, guys.
Sure. If somebody buys me a Kyle Larson hat, I'll wear it on the pod.
So if you get 2 Kyle Larson's hat, are you going to send them back? Or are you going to order the Chase Elliott hats again and hope they get it right?
I
the
order the
second time?
Chase Elliott ones again. Even though I ordered them from the Chase Elliott store. So I don't think they have any Kyle Larson hats hanging around.
Let's be honest. They probably share the merchandise is in one building. Because it says ChaseElliott.com, it's out of
I don't
Hendrick.
know if Larson does, but I know Byron basically has the same website as Chase for his merch.
Larson, I think, uses Casey Kane,
Right.
their printing screen and all that, or whatever.
So yeah, I'm gonna have a surplus of these hats. So hopefully you guys see this hat on this podcast for another year. I'm excited. It's a great hat. It looks good on me. It
Debatable.
makes me look cool. Okay. There's anything else we want to talk about?
Speaking of,
We are doing pod picks, right?
Oh shit! Garbage.
This is my favorite part.
Yeah.
Is that what the Mexican flag is?
Yeah.
Yes, it's not my face, believe it or not.
We about to make it your face before this campaign's over.
Oh, this is fucking mean. Damn remix. It's a nice hat. It's got like camo-ish on it. It's got that cool Napa logo. Yeah, I like the hat. Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
Avocado from Mexico. That commercial's awesome. I love that commercial. But yeah, I feel like there's something that we're missing, but there's a lot to talk about altogether this week. Oh, we gotta do picks.
I think I mentioned that.
Oh, okay, fucking asshole. Let's head to the pick screen. I win again last week, 3 in a row, and that puts me up in a little titty tie with old Bradley over here. I've got 6. He's got 6. And I believe with an unfortunate week for his guy, I think JB is picking first with Bowman. Is that right? Did he finish behind?
Yes.
Fine.
Because the rest of them finished up there.
Stupid. I don't even know. I mean, I already know who I want to pick, so it's fine.
Go for it.
I want William.
Have you picked him? You haven't picked him?
Nope.
That's really fucking disappointing.
Is that who you were going to pick, Mike?
Yep. Next up will be
Me.
Tegan.
Show me my sheet. Damn. Give me Busher. No, I didn't take your guy.
Maybe you did. Next up would be Wessel, but he's not here. We don't have his pick, so we'll get it during the week. Then Bradley's going to make sure he hasn't picked this guy. He hasn't, and Bradley's picking Ross Chastain. I'm gonna I'll pick next. Sal didn't pick last week. I'm gonna pick Joey Logano. Val, who do you got?
Show me my list. Now.
Okay.
Okay, I'm last one. AJ Allmendinger.
It's an interesting pick for this track.
Hey, NASCAR.com said it themselves. He's heating up.
He's the face. Tegan thinks he's an Xfinity regular. Idiot. It got heated today. We got excited. I feel like this is going to go down as one of the all-timer pod episodes. we went all across the board. But I think it's about that time. We went really long, but it was genuinely because we had a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on in all sorts of NASCAR universe. Tegan, do the thing.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Oh, never mind. You missed it. I was going to do the helicopter. I was going to do the helicopter.
No, that's it. That's over.